My father raised his glass and flashed that smile, the one he wore when he wanted applause more than truth. So, he said, tapping the rim with his fingernail, you just teach flight simulators, right? Polite laughter rippled through the country club like wind across water. I smiled back, steady, calm. No, I said, I fly real aircraft. He laughed louder, pleased with himself. Oh, really? Then what's your call sign? I didn't raise my voice. Night Sentinel. The retired SEAL beside him spat red wine across the white linen and went pale. He started, then stopped. He knew exactly who I was. The silence that followed had weight. It pressed against the room like humidity before a storm breaks. Before I tell you what happened when that SEAL stood up and told my father the truth he'd been hiding from for 20 years, drop a comment. Where are you watching from right now? I want to see how far this story travels. We were at the Hastings Club, the kind of place that smells faintly of lemon polish and inherited money. It was a charity dinner for veteran scholarships, a cause no one argues with. My father loved events like this. They made him look benevolent by proximity. He'd arrived late, of course. He always did when punctuality would suggest deference. I had chosen my outfit with the same care I chose my words. Navy dress, unadorned, polished shoes, practical, hair pinned back the way I wore it on long operations. If you don't want to be measured, don't give them a ruler. My father had always loved telling my story for me, his version anyway, the one where I was the daughter who never quite measured up. For years, I'd let him. Invisibility has advantages. Tonight, that was about to change. Simulators, my father repeated, warming to his own voice. That's what she does, teaches kids to push buttons, he chuckled. Very important, of course. The SEAL, Tom, I'd later learn, set his napkin down with the precision of a man who understands boundaries. Sir, he said, and the word carried weight. That's not a joke. He looked at me not for approval but for alignment, then back at my father. You don't ask about that name unless you're ready for the answer. My father's jaw worked. He took a sip of wine, more to occupy his mouth than because he wanted it, and swallowed wrong. Red droplets sprayed across the white cloth. Someone reached for a napkin. Someone else pretended to check their phone. The band stopped mid-song. A woman across the table tilted her head. Night Sentinel, she repeated, testing the words. Is that Air Force? Tom didn't answer her. He kept his eyes on my father. It's earned, he said quietly, and it's not something you joke about at dinner. My father laughed again, shorter this time, defensive. Come on, he said, we're all friends here. Friends, the word meant different things to different people. To my father, it meant audience. I set my glass down. The stem made a small, decisive sound against the table. Dad, I said, not loud, not angry, please. He looked at me, really looked, as if seeing a stranger who shared my face. Please what? Please stop, I said, not tonight. Tom lifted a hand, the room quieted. Sir, he said again, his voice steady, your daughter flew Overwatch for my team, nights when the sky disappears and the ground lies, nights when radios go quiet. He paused and she kept watch so we could move, she brought people home. The room breathed in as one and forgot to breathe out. My father's face rearranged itself. The smile tried to return and couldn't find purchase. That's dramatic, he said weakly. It's accurate, Tom replied, and it's enough. I stood slowly. The room rose with me, not because I asked, but because the truth had shifted the gravity. I lifted my glass. To the students who will get a chance they didn't expect. People stood because standing was what you did when the script changed. Glasses clinked, the band found a key and held it. My father sat alone, staring at the wine stain on the cloth as if it were the problem. When he finally looked up, his voice had lost its swagger. Night Sentinel, he said, testing the words. Since when? I didn't answer. Some questions aren't owed answers in public. Tom leaned back, the crisis passed. You raised someone steady, he said to my father, not unkindly. That counts. My father nodded without looking at me. He left early, muttering about traffic. His empty chair was louder than his jokes had been. I stayed, I always do. You don't leave a room just because it learned something about you. The next morning, my phone buzzed. A text from my father, "We need to talk." No punctuation, that's how I knew it mattered. I drove to his shop at dusk. The roll-up door was half open. Classic country played softly on the radio. He sat on a stool with a ledger open, pencil gripped like he was threatening the numbers into place. "We need to talk," I said.